Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, I'm KingNido, and today we're coming to you from Anistar City where the Galaxy are hosting the Castelia Pinchers. And for the Galaxy, they have never been successful in taking down the bug types, but they have won their last two games as they are looking to hang on to a place inside the leaders 8, whereas for the Castelia Pinchers, who are in 10th place, they are actually in contention for an Elite 4 spot if they can win this game, and they have never made it to Victory Road. So with all that said, let us know in the comments below who you think's going to win this matchup. Will it be the Psychic types? Will it be the Bug types? Let's go!
3, 2, 1, go!
And starting off this matchup, it is the Terrestrial Draftee Noctowl alongside Chimecho going up against Vivillon and Venomoth for the Castelia Pinchers. And the last time these two sides collided, it came down to the very wire. But again, the Galaxy were unsuccessful in that matchup as it is Venomoth with the speed control immediately going for the wave crash onto the Terrestrial Draftee, getting some great damage there, taking some recoil damage for itself in the process. But with full speed control, it is Vivillon trying for the last resort, but unfortunately that is going to fail. This opens up the door for Noctowl to try and capitalize with the freeze dry here onto Vivillon, getting some great super effective damage there, and it's left Vivillon frozen solid in midair as well, unable to move. Chimecho looking to follow up with the Dark Pulse, targeting Venomoth there, getting some good damage of its own, but Venomoth does look to respond with the Defog here. This is going to lower the evasiveness of Chimecho, making it a much easier target, but Vivillon cannot capitalize because it is still frozen solid, and Noctowl looking to take the momentum for the Galaxy, going with the Baby Doll Eyes. It is going to lower that physical attack of Venomoth as it is followed up by the strength from Chimecho, getting some good damage there, but Venomoth responding with the Rock Smash and not doing much with that not very effective move. However, it does lower the physical defense of Chimecho as Vivillon is still frozen solid. Venomoth is out here having to do all the work by itself as Noctowl is going with the Rock Tomb, and Venomoth is no longer doing any work because it has been eliminated with that super effective move. And Chimecho looking to follow it up goes with the Tail Whip, not going on the offensive, instead it lowers the physical defense of Vivillon, who is going to be joined by Araquanid entering this matchup as Vivillon is still frozen solid in midair as well, as we've said before, but it is Noctowl capitalizing with the Sludge Wave. This is going to hit everybody on the field, but it takes Vivillon out of this matchup and more status conditions. But unfortunately for Noctowl, it has poisoned its teammate. Chimecho will have to contend with that, but before that takes effect, it does go with the Mist. This is going to shroud the Anistar Galaxy in that Mist, but Araquanid by itself on the field at the moment is going with the Astonish, super effective there onto Noctowl, getting some good damage, but there is that poisoning starting to take effect here on Chimecho that it received from its teammate. The Pinchers sending out Volbeat, immediately taking that speed control for itself, and goes with the Gigaton Hammer, bringing the hammer down hard onto Chimecho and taking it out of this matchup. The Pinchers finally get one on the board as Noctowl responds with the Double Edge, gets in some great damage onto Volbeat, but it gets some recoil damage that puts itself into knockout range, and it is the Poison Powder from Araquanid not going for the easy elimination. Now it's Noctowl having to contend with being poisoned. It is going to feel what its teammate felt, but it is able to hang on by a thread from that poisoning as it is going to be joined by Hypno entering this matchup. Volbeat with the Razor Leaf, the spread damage, taking Noctowl out of this match, and we have a level playing field as it is now a 4 versus 4 contest. A little bit of damage as well onto Hypno as that sunlight comes out before it looks like it's about to set, but we get the Fury attack from Hypno, this multi-hit move on to Volbeat here. It's connected for 3, it gets 4, it needs a 1 more, but it is only a 4-time connection, and Araquanid responding with the Supercell Slam, slamming down hard on to Hypno, but Hypno is going to chair down on its Citrus Berry, offsetting some of the damage it just took from Araquanid, as it is now going to be joined by Rhea entering this contest. Volbeat going with the Stun Spore, immediately meeting Rhea, whose name I'm still trying to work on. It is left with that paralysis. This is going to slow it down, but it may also make it unable to move as Hypno responds with the Slack Off. After that Citrus Berry now slacking off, it is going to get itself back to full strength, and Araquanid going with the Flying Press, continuing on the offensive, but not very effective this time, getting some chip damage as Rhea shakes off that paralysis to go for the struggle poke, and it does put Volbeat into knockout range, lowering the special attack of the Pinchers in the process. But we do see Volbeat now chowing down on its Lancer Bear. It is getting pumped as it wants the Pinchers to be 3-0 against the Galaxy. It tries for the head smash, but that is going to be avoided by Reuniclus, allowing Hypno to respond by going with the Torch Song, getting the easy elimination of Volbeat with that super effective move, but it also boosts its special attack in the process. Now it is much more specially defensive, but any boost always helps out as the X Scissor onto Hypno takes it out of this match. Araquanid says no, you will not continue in this contest as it is now a 3 versus 3 match. Absorbing the light for the Solar Blade, though it is Reuniclus as it is no longer protected by that mist. It is Lurantis entering for the Castelia Pinchers. It is Gothitelle entering for the Anistar Galaxy, and that is right, Lurantis, their own terrestrial draftee for the Pinchers, taking on this bug typing, and it has had some great showings and it wants to repeat that here. As we said, the Pinchers looking to go 3-0 against the Galaxy trying to make their way up the leaderboard. We get the yawn though from Gothitelle, who does currently have speed control. This is going to cause Lurantis to grow drowsy on the field, but before it can fall asleep, it is going for the stored power here, doing very minimal damage here to Reuniclus. Araquanid, however, trying to do its part, going with the super effective Spirit Shackle onto Gothitelle, getting some fantastic damage there, as it is Gothitelle chowing down on its Enigma Berry after taking that super effective damage from Araquanid, as it can no longer escape, but it is not looking to go anywhere. The Solar Blade being finished off by Reuniclus on to Araquanid, capitalizing on its part water typing, and Gothitelle follows it up with the Wish, wishing the Galaxy can make it back to Victory Road and win this game as well. The Aurora Veil from Lurantis is going to fail. It is not snowing in Anistar as Araquanid, trying to do its bit, goes with the Ice Hammer, another hammer being brought down, this time onto Reuniclus. It does lower its own speed in the process, and Reuniclus unable to move due to that paralysis. But we do see Lurantis falling asleep now on the field after having been drowsy for some time. The high jump kick, a high risk with very little reward there from Gothitelle onto that sleeping Lurantis, who is snoozing away. This leaves Araquanid needing to do the heavy lifting by itself, and it goes with the Roar of Time onto Gothitelle, doing very little damage for that move, allowing Reuniclus to go with the Crush Grip here, not getting much damage of its own here onto Araquanid, as that first wish has come true for Gothitelle, restoring its health. It is going with the Pain Split, which actually favors Lurantis because Gothitelle had gotten itself back to full strength. But with that said, Lurantis still snoozing away on the field at the moment. This is a 1v2 contest, but Araquanid does have to recharge, and it's the Force Palm from Reuniclus, not doing much damage with that not very effective move onto the sleeping Lurantis. Gothitelle following up with the Fell Stinger, but Araquanid is able to hang on, being put into knockout range. No boost there for Gothitelle, as Lurantis still fast asleep. The Metal Claw from Araquanid on to Reuniclus, getting in some chip damage here, but Reuniclus again shaking off that paralysis, going with the Dragon Pulse onto Araquanid, taking it out of this matchup. The Galaxy have the 3-2 lead, but the last Pokemon for the Pinchers entering this matchup, it is Galvantula, who immediately is going to go with the Rock Tomb, going on the offensive, taking it straight to Reuniclus, lowering its speed in the process. It's already the slowest on the field though, as the Drill Peck from Gothitelle super effective onto the sleeping Lurantis here, who has its own Enigma Berry by the looks of it chowing down. Sorry, it's a Citrus Berry that it's chowing down on, restoring its health, and it is finally awoken. It is going to respond with the Blood Moon onto Reuniclus, taking it out of this matchup. It is a 2 versus 2 contest, Lurantis and Galvantula. Gothitelle being joined by Meowstic entering this match. Galvantula with the Blaze Kick going on the offensive, still this time taking it to Gothitelle. Meowstic responding by hiding under the water. It is going for the dive. Lurantis needs to target Gothitelle, but before that can happen, Gothitelle is going with the Water Gun, getting in some chip damage here onto Lurantis, who does respond with the Psych Up. It is going to copy the stat changes of Gothitelle, and again Galvantula needs to focus in onto Gothitelle. It does go for the lock on, but it is not going to work onto Meowstic, who has just come up from under the water with that dive onto Lurantis. Gothitelle looking to follow it up here, going with the Whirlwind, but the bench of the Pinchers is empty, so that is going to fail. This allows Lurantis to try and capitalize by going with the Heavy Slam. Great damage there onto Meowstic. Galvantula following up with the Dragon Claw. They are continuing on the offensive onto Meowstic, who is going to respond by going with the Hold Back, and that may be a crystallized Lurantis, but it is not a shiny Lurantis, as the Psychic Fangs from Gothitelle. The 1-2 hit takes Lurantis out of this matchup. Galvantula is all by itself against Meowstic and Gothitelle here. Again, this back and forth match. Galvantula with the speed control going for the last resort, but unfortunately that is going to fail. This opens the door for the Galaxy to try and capitalize. Meowstic with the body slam onto Galvantula, taking its first damage of the match. Gothitelle following up with the agility, trying to take speed control from Galvantula here as it gets that massive speed boost, and it's successful in doing so, going with the double edge here. It will get some recoil damage in the process, getting great damage though onto Galvantula, who is going to respond with a struggle bug. This will be super effective. Meowstic hangs on by a thread. Gothitelle still in this matchup, but with its special attack being low, that competitive ability of Meowstic is activated, so it gets a massive special attack boost as well, and it is going to chow down on its staff bear that is going to boost its physical defense. It is still holding on in this match. It is going to go for the Water Shuriken, this multi-hit move. The first one's a critical play. It puts Galvantula into knockout range, but it is going to chow down on its own staff barrier that's going to boost its special defense, trying to offset this damage from the Water Shuriken. We've caught 3. It needs one more, and it gets the 4th connection to take Galvantula out of this match. Even with the boosted special defense, it was not able to hang on, and for the first time ever, the Anistar Galaxy have taken down the Castelia Pinchers. And with not much separating these two sides, this is going to move the Galaxy up into 9th place, as next round they are going up against the Ula Macros, whereas for the Pinchers they do drop down to 11th, but next round they will be going up against the Goldenrod Guild. But until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.